Oh, it's my workout routine on the other screen. Let me whip open the stream broadcast, so that I can manage that. Let's open up the Spotify, get some lo-fi tunes going. That's RuneScape. Here we go. All right. Where is the lo-fi? You guys actually hear me? Is my audio working? I've been having audio issues recently. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. It's the microphone. Test, test, test. Okay. Nope. This is gonna get us copyrighted as hell. All right. How's that? Some fan. Oh, geez. Hi, I can hear. Boost algorithm. Yes. Boost, boost. David forgot his password. He's working on it. Pokemon Trainer Orange. Who is that? I swear, if this is my opponent being like, yeah, let's peep the prep. Let's see what he's done. I'm gonna be so pissed if he's coming in here just to stream snipe my builds. So first of all, I will let you peep my builds. Second, can you guys hear the music? I want to make sure it's at like an audible volume for you. How does that sound? Also, how do you like the mustache? We'll do a quick poll while you guys answer that question. Mustache. Yes or no? Answer in the chat. Mustache. Okay. So you guys can't hear the music. Let me turn that up for you. Should be audible now. Okay. So going through the prep, the star of today's show on my team of the 7 deadly sins, we have pride, wrath, greed, sloth, lust, and gluttony. But let me show you the star is the Primeape. We built the team around him this week. It is a bulk up Drain Punch set. So boosting my defense, boosting my attack, increases my bulk and my attack. So it's harder to kill me while Drain Punch is giving me more health, as well as Drain Punch is giving me more health because of my attack boost, as well as it's harder to break because of the defense boost. So that's that. As for the EVs on it, we have 4 speed. This is just to outspeed the base 95s on my opponent's team. I don't know if he's gonna min speed them or not, but if he does, well, I have just a little bit of speed in there just to help me outspeed those things. I felt like it was worth taking that hit of attack power to be able to boost it a little bit. And then we have Rage Fist, plus 50 power for each time a user is hit, max of 6 hits. So my plan is to try and catch my opponent's Volt Switches and U-turns, his low power attacks. Which is why we have these 72 defense EVs. This prevents the, what does it prevent? Hold up, let me move this camera over. Not centered right. This will prevent the Meowscarada from doing more than 50%, allowing me to take 2 U-turns and maybe Drain Punch it. Although I have to be wary of its Flower Trick because it can crit through these bulk ups. Interesting. Alright. Now we have Wrath this week. So, this week it is a Dragon Dancing Extreme Speed Terra Normal. So it's kind of like the popular Dragonite set that you see around a lot. The difference is that this thing is running Glare. I feel like if Wrath gets out there early on, maybe we can slow down some of his faster threats like Meowscarada, Naganadel, etc. Hopefully just catching them on switches. Thousand Arrows, Oko's Naganadel. Also, Oko's the Rotom Heat, very interestingly. I do have Toxic on Gluttony, my Landorus T. I just remember there's a match we're supposed to be watching, so let me see if they've started yet. Oh my god. It is almost over already, and I forgot to watch the match. So, we have David, the new phony mouse, okay, versus Goof Meek. The match is almost over, but it seems to be even, a 3-3 situation. Aerodactyl, Garchomp, and Weavile versus Mawile, Registeel, and Venusaur. I'm gonna say I think David has the odds in this situation. However, the Toxic does go down on the Garchomp, and that's really the Pokemon who's gonna be wanting to stay in and really has an edge in this match. I think Venusaur might be able to stall this thing out. David, you better not cheat using the tech that I'm talking about here. I see you in the chat. That shit better be muted. So, Mawile, interesting. Lowers the attack. This Earthquake can't hurt as hard. Sucker Punch is not doing much damage. And there's the Rocky Helmet. Yeah. I think that's a wrap. Goof Meek should have totally gone Venusaur in that situation. Did Goof forfeit? Oh my god. That's tough. That is tough. Yeah, should have went Venusaur there. Okay, let's see how that match started out. So we had the Mawile versus the Chandelure. See, I probably would have Sucker Punched there. That Sucker Punch probably would have KO'd the attacking Chandelure. I mean, I don't know the exact EV calculations, but that's what I would have done. And so for the second season in a row, he's running... Holy shit, that just blew my mind. He's running a physical Latios, but the Chandelure was actually able to call that. I would have expected a Shadow Ball from Latios, but he actually Earthquaked into a Shuca Berry Chandelure, allowing him to resist that attack. Sun Sweeping Venusaur doing tons of damage. Tons and tons of damage. Interesting. And so we're pretty much even for this game. We came in at 3-3, now watching the replay, we're back at 2-2. And that Magic Bounce onto the Araquanid is an incredible switch. I think that was very smart of David to do that. Leech Life giving the Araquanid tons of health back. That's really great. See, at this stage in the game, I 100% would have given it... I would have given it to Goof Meek, but the fact that he just gave away his Pokemon to the Earthquaking Garchomp instead of going into the Venusaurs is really where this game went wrong for him. Shall we keep going through my EVs on this team? Outspeeds Garchomp. After Agility, it outspeeds Naganadel. Psycho Cut Okos. I could have gone Zen Headbutt for the Tough Claws boost. But, this has 100% accuracy, whereas the Zen Headbutt doesn't, and it still KOs, so that's fine. It also tanks Garchomp's Earthquakes pretty well with this defense. I forget the exact reasoning of that defense, though. Standard Spadef Sloth. It's Garganacl. It's got Avalanche for hitting Garchomps. That should Oko Garchomp. And then we also have Spadef, Lando T. I have a really big Goldengo weakness on this team, so we're really just trying to, you know, knock it off and Purifying Salt it and really just try and bother it off the field. Okay, the Meek Ron Swanson game is going live. Let's see if we can watch that. Okay, here's the matchup. So, this looks to be pretty much the exact team that I was expecting from Cowboy Swanson. I was kind of expecting a Thundurus instead of an Alakazam, but the point is he has a Volt Switch Absorber in a Ground type. Because otherwise, this Tapu Koko would just love to Volt Switch through the entire team. And he really needs to protect this Dondozo. Because it is going to stop the hyper offense form that Meek Millie's team has taken. He's loving to spam like Swords Dance and Belly Drum. Is this an Ubers League? Yeah, it's kind of like a half Ubers League. So Pokemon like Cyclizar, Pokemon like Magearna, they are... It's Natdex Ubers. They are considered to be above 20 points when you're drafting them, and you can only have one 20-point Pokemon. So you can have a Mega Blaziken, you can have a Mega Latios, but you can only really get one of them. And we kind of cut the line at Marshadow. Marshadow is like the highest, the most powerful thing in the league. Anything better than a Marshadow, we just figured was too powerful. Like Primal Groudon, get out of here. We don't want that in the league. It's just not fun having to build around those. So we see the leads are Hippowdon versus Cyclizar. Cyclizar is a super common lead because it can just go ahead and Shed Tail. And that's going to be great because you can avoid a Toxic from Hippowdon. Although, you know, we might see a Whirlwind here in this situation, just making Cyclizar lose that health. But he ends up setting Stealth Rocks, and now we have an Iron Bundle with a Speed Boost behind a Substitute, and Cowboy is in trouble now. Because I think, I don't know the calcs, but I'm willing to bet Iron Bundle can one-shot a Hippowdon, and it can two-shot the Dondozo, which is probably the best tank versus this thing. So Cowboy's looking in trouble, and that's very good for Meek Millie, because I think in the long game, Cowboy has the positive matchup. Meek Millie just needs to put him on his back foot quick enough. He's got that hyper offensive team, and he needs to just immediately apply that pressure. So now we see the Dondozo has Spadef. It looks to be Cowboy Swanson's signature Cursed Rest set. So hopefully this Freeze Dry is going to KO, but he's probably going to get the rest off. No, instead he just goes for the Body Press, breaking the Substitute, which is good for Cowboy Swanson. But it looks like the Dondozo is going to die here. And without that, Meek Millie's team is really freed up to do its like Swords Dancing on the Hawlucha. So he goes into the Magearna. I think that's a really good decision. It's one of the best resistances he has. Hydro Pump is still going to hit very hard, but the Flash Cannon is going to hurt the Iron Bundle harder, and I think he needs to switch it out and save it. Because obviously the Iron Bundle matches up so well against his team. I would be saving it here, and I don't know who I'd be going into, though. There's not a lot of Magearna answers on this team. Meek Millie's piping up in the chat. Let's see what he said here. He said, I forgot this isn't Gen 4. I thought that Sandstorm was going to kill me. If you don't know, our friend Meek Millie here is a Random Bats Generation 4 professional. And that's all he plays. He's very high ranked on that ladder. And in that generation, they have permanent weather. So he thought he was just going to keep getting chipped. So, the Thunderbolt right into the Mantine. Mantine is down. Now, Cowboy looks like he actually has the lead. He's already taken a piece. He has that special attack boost. The game is looking well for him. And it's wild to see that sort of... What's the word I'm looking for? It's wild to see that momentum switch so quickly. You know, this league started off just a bunch of my friends, and a lot of us didn't know how to play Pokemon very well. At the time, I was the best player in the league. Now we're on our 4th season. That's not the case. You know, I think there's 2, 3, maybe even 4 players better than me now because everybody's just kept playing and getting better. This match, it looks like a real match, and these guys, like, no offense, they weren't good season 1, but now it's really awesome seeing how much these players have improved and are honestly putting up a very entertaining match right now. So the drought goes up. We don't see the Roaring Moon on the enemy team, so we don't have to worry about that Photosynthesis proccing. What we are worried about is the Iron Bundle's attack power is now cut in half. As Pokemon Trainer Orange said in the chat, there's no Hydro Resist now. Well, there kind of is, because the sun is up. Now kind of everything is a Hydro Pump resist. Now I'm trying to see... What can Meek Millie do about this Charizard? Looks like he doesn't have to do anything. He just moves it out for him. Gets a nice U-turn, does a big chunk of chip damage to the Frostmoth. In this situation, I would probably just go Hawlucha and try to go back to exerting pressure. Right? If that's not a terrain Hawlucha, maybe it's like a white herb, and we could close combat and get that speed boost. What's the Dondozo at? Yeah, the Dondozo is not a problem anymore. The Hawlucha is free to rip whenever it gets the opportunity to go. The Hawlucha's in great shape with Dondozo chipped so well. Now, does Cowboy Swanson know this? Cowboy has improved a lot. I'm sure he recognizes the threat that Hawlucha is on the field. If Meek Millie has a way to get that speed boost up, this could be game. Right? If he lands a close combat in white herbs, he's off to the races. What's Magearna's chip at? Do we think like an adamant close combat KOs? Ooh, the Thunder Punch. Ooh, that was not it. Ooh, the Ice Beam. Yeah. See, he really needed that KO there. That's a stab Ice Beam. There was no universe Hawlucha was surviving that. However, a grass type looks freeze dryable to me. If the Hawlucha has Swords Dance, Taunt, Roost, it could be really scary. Yeah, that's a great set as well. Now, Pokemon Trainer Orange, you're new here. Let me explain to you how this works. We have a point sheet. It's available on our Discord. The point sheet works like this, right? I told you Pokemon above 20 points you can only have one of. Well, only Pokemon under 10 points can actually Terra type. There's only 2 Pokemon who can Terra type in this match. Frostmoth is around 7 or 6 points, so that thing was able to Terra, and this Mantine there was also able to Terra. Now Terra is out of the game. Cowboy's already burnt his up, and Meek Millie has no available Terra type Pokemon. So this is a classic Nat Dex Ubers match going on here now. Now, what are the moves on this Cyclizar? Yeah, shit, let me drop the Discord for sure. Happy to drop the Discord. We like to host Pokemon tournaments here and there, so check it out. Feel free to join. You can select a flare. I recommend the Twitch channel and the Pokemon tournaments channel. Those are the two I recommend flaring for. Adding yourself to the drafts. There's like a coaches only section, and then there's like a public section. And the public section, there's not a lot of people talking there. But the Twitch and tournament section, highly recommend. Solar Beam into the Tangrowth. Woo! A Tangrowth still takes 35%. If I'm being honest, that is far more chip than I was expecting. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I think that is an impressive amount of chip. So he goes into the Koko. What are we getting hit with here? A Flamethrower doing 78%. Tapu Koko needs to do something here. Typically, Meek Millie is known for liking to run screens, although maybe with the Dondozo on the opposing team, he might be running a more offensive this week. Hits him with the Dazzling Gleam, doing 34%. Koko is pretty much dead. He has no defoggers left, so if he tries to hit the field again, he's dead. I think he just rips another Dazzling Gleam. Yep. Gets that damage down as he gets Earthquaked off the field. If I'm Meek Millie here, do I have enough health? Yes, I... Ooh, it's close. If I'm Meek Millie here, I think I'm going Cyclizar. I'm setting my Shed Tail, and I'm going right back into the Iron Bundle. Instead, he goes out into his Resist, Tangrowth. Let's see what he's thinking here. What's his plan with this? Because right now, all I'm seeing is bait for the Charizard to come out and hit the field again. Should have used Slack Off? Absolutely should have slacked off there. I agree. So the logic in that move to use Slack Off is that the Tapu Koko only had 4% health left. And yeah, Tyler Dingledine said it before I had the chance. Earthquake wasn't going to do anything because it was already going to die to the Sandstorm. So he might as well slacked off and gotten his HP back in this situation. If you're running teams such as Sand or Hail... Ooh, Hail doesn't exist anymore. That's Snow. Yeah, so basically, if you're running a Sand team, you need to be very conscious of that fact. I remember I ran Hail a couple seasons ago with the Ninetales, and it happened at least twice, maybe 3 times that season, where Hail was getting the KO anyway, so I just took the free switch. I switched out, or I think maybe I nasty plotted with Ninetales. You want to be conscious of that. It's not going to happen all the time, but it came up this game. It happened 2 or 3 times for me my season. Something good to keep in mind. Now the Charizard Y going for that big Solar Beam again. Is he not carrying Weather Ball? I feel like Cowboy is the type to just click the Weather Ball here. Although I guess it's hitting the rest of the team neutrally and Tangrowth's super effective, so I see no purpose in not hitting that Fire-type attack. So, oh! Oh! I did not see that coming. That's a huge KO. Oh my. That critical hit changes everything. If the Cyclizar was able to get up that Shed Tail, at any moment the Iron Bundle could have gone off. Now the Iron Bundle is forced to try and Hydro Pump, and I don't know if it can do enough damage in the sun. It does still manage to get that damage. And now the music hits, and now things are speeding up. Does Hydro Pump get the KO here? What's the speed on this? Okay. I think I'm going Tangrowth, and I'm trying... I'm going Tangrowth and trying to let the Life Orb chip Magearna down. We need this Hydro Pump to KO. We can't risk it doing anything else. So bait out this Life Orb damage. Maybe try and Leech Seed or something with the Tangrowth. Do whatever you can to make this Hydro Pump KO. You need to secure this KO. He goes into the Tangrowth. He's playing well. The Life Orb chips Magearna further. See, Meek Millie doesn't have room to be playing for differential anymore. He is playing for the win. But Cowboy Swanson has all the cards in his hand. He is clearly dominating the field. Tangrowth, Morning Sun's in the sand. That's something you don't see often. That move heals 50% health, unless you're in the sun, where it heals 100%. Could have been huge while Charizard Y was alive, but now Hippowdon hit the field, meaning that move only heals 25%. The Giga Drain gives another 22% as Hippowdon slacks off. What is Tangrowth going to do? He has the tight matchup. We get the Toxic on the Alakazam, who reveals himself to be Magic Guard. He's not taking Sandstorm damage. The Toxic isn't doing anything to him. Now, at 372 speed, the Iron Bundle still has outspeed potential on the Alakazam, but does it have the knockout potential? Is Alakazam weak enough to get KO'd by the Iron Bundle? I don't think so. I think this is probably game. Ice Beam only does 58%. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy Swanson, very impressive matchup. So far, that might be my match of the week, but I know we have some very exciting replays to watch later on. Okay, let me reach out to my opponent. Okay. Ooh, that was exciting. Oh, Sash Magic Guard? Okay. That was exciting. I enjoyed that. I think the game was never really out of hands for either of our contestants today. So I was rewatching the VOD from last week. If you go to my channel, I edit these streams to make them more digestible, right? I take about 20 to 30 minutes out of them of just like waiting for matches like we're doing right now. So it's just like game on game on game. And I do pretty well spectating other people's matches, but when it's me who's playing, I'm like not talking at all. I was playing Tyler Dingledine last week and just taking it so seriously that I talked like twice, and it was just enough for me to go, ah, fuck, man. Okay, where is my opponent? How do I spell his freaking name? Got some Discord matches. GG's. That was close to some of our contestants. Just wishing congratulations to all my opponents right now. Or all my contestants, waiting for my opponent to be ready. GG, very well done. Ah, it's my Steam. Alright, my opponent is fixing something quickly, whatever that is. Ooh, the Cerulean match should be live right now. Is that so? Oh, okay. Okay, now this is an exciting match. I like this. Cerulean was the runner-up Season 1, championship contender, playing with his Obama right now, while Matt dominated our lower division last year and has been promoted to the more advanced league. So I have close eyes on both of them. I consider Cerulean to be a bit of a rival of mine. We always have a bit of a dogfight match, very fun. Whereas Matt here is... It's like a sweet summer child of a player. I really like watching Matt's games because I feel like he's got a little bit of everything and a little bit of nothing, if that makes sense. Like he's got good, okay skill, he's got okay team building, okay just like all around game knowledge. It's kind of like some people will see players in our league who are really good team builders, but they can't play for shit. And then we have people who are the opposite. I'm not going to name names, but we have some players who are really good if you give them a good team, but they themselves can't build these good teams. And then, you know, we have people who are amazing at both those things. Matt Way is what happens when you kind of are pretty good at, like, everything. Like, maybe not the best, but, like, pretty good at this, pretty good at that, pretty good at this. And having everything kind of going for him means that he surprises you with, like, an interesting match. You never know if it's going to be his team building that surprises you, or his gameplay, or maybe his blind luck critical hitting something, like that Moltres just critted on U-turn. So Tinglu switches in on the Tapu Fini. I think that's a mistake. But I'm really not seeing a good Tapu Fini answer. Oh! And there you go. Matt Way has surprised me already. Now, Whirlwind is popular on Tinglu. I shouldn't be surprised, but I didn't see a way for him to answer Calm Mind Tapu Fini in front of a Aurora Veil, but he just Whirlwinds it and gets rid of it. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, let's be honest, that's on me. I should have seen that coming, but it was well done. Now the Noivern hits the field. I believe it's 9 points. I believe it's like the absolute highest level thing that can actually Terra type. So you got to be worried about that thing's Terra Normal Boom Burst hitting the field. It's one of the strongest attacks in our league. And the Iron Treads hits the field. Steel Roll removes the terrain. That is a move you only see Cerulean building. He's one of our most creative players. I love watching his sets. He always does like some weird trapping moves. But I'm not really actually seeing the value in it. It hits, you know, the Chien Pao and the Hatterene, but why doesn't he just Iron Head, you know? He wants to remove his own terrain for some reason. I don't understand. Obama sets up another Aurora Veil. I think Cerulean is on a timer. He's looking for an opportunity to set up and blow up Matt's team using the Aurora Veil. And he's not finding these opportunities. He needs to work a little bit faster. Now, looking at his team, is that Urshifu single? That is Urshifu single. It matches up very well against his team, yep. And so he goes into it. That's kind of what I was expecting. It looks like his best setup opportunity. And he's doing what I was kind of saying. He's working a little faster now. Instead of going into the more passive Finny, he's going into the more offensive Urshifu. He's saying, you react to me this game. Because now he can bulk up and start spamming close combats or wicked blows. The only thing who really likes taking those is probably the Moltres, I think, who is just U-turned out of the field. The Rotom comes out, maybe looking for a burn. $5 on Cerulean, so focused. Tyler jumps in the chat, says he just had to chip Matt's team to deploy the Urshifu. I agree. That's typically what you're looking for, is to get some chip down, but I just don't see that much valuable chip. Chien-Pao is still at 100. Hatterini's still at 100. Moltres still at 100. Rotom's at 99. The only thing with any decent chip is the Ting Lu at 53%, who's weak to the close combats. Holy shit! Wicked Blow still does 62 for Hatterene. And that's the single strike Urshifu difference. Even these resisted attacks, now it's neutral, but they're still just nuking the field. 51% of the Rotom, not enough to KO. Might pull back the Urshifu, yes, as he U-turns. Very wise, he's protecting it. Now the question is, what is the item on this Urshifu? As you see here, there's no item on it. I suspect maybe a Black Glasses. It's not a Life Orb, which is good, because he's playing very defensively. He's protecting it, and the Life Orb would chip it and make that job harder. Now the Misty Terrain is back up, so whatever status this Rotom wants to spread, whether that be Toxic or Thunder Wave, looks to be Will-O-Wisp this week, that's out of the game. Looks like he has no electric attacks, no Volt Switch, otherwise he would Volt Switch into this Finny. As we get a Calm Mind up. Calm Mind Finny looks pretty good this week. I would probably just rip the Moonblast right here and get the Ting Lu KO. Matt is having a very hard time now. He's down. He's only got 4 Mons left, while Cerulean is at a full 6. Now, and not much of Cerulean's team is chipped. His Obama Snow is in the worst case, right? He's got Burn. He's at 38%. Cerulean might be able to get up one more set of screens if he's very lucky. But Mew, Iron Treads, and Noivern are still at 100%. They're looking in great position right now. The Chien-Pao hits the field, only doing 28% and getting KO'd. It looks like Matt is starting to suffocate. He's choking. That's what that means. He's out of options here. Now, Hatterene hits the field. Is Psychic Fairy, is that a Fairy resist? Does Fairy resist Fairy? Oh, and the Substitute goes out. The Nuzzle, not enough to break the Substitute, so he gets no para, and the Substitute stays up, as he's now able to start subbing up for free again. Dazzling Gleam doing no type of damage. As he's able to just continue Calm Minding. Instead, opts to go for the Scald. And it looks like this game is wrapped up, ladies and gentlemen. A big 6-0 from Cerulean, if I do say so myself. Do we see any electric attacks from this Rotom? I don't think we're going to see it. Tyler Dingladine suggests maybe the Urshifu Single Strike is a protective pad set. I think it's quite possible. If you don't know, that boosts the damage of a Single Strike while also protecting him from contact moves, or contact punishment. As the Scald shuts down the Moltres. GG's. That's well done. See, this is why Cerulean is one of the scariest players in the league. I think that was an almost perfectly played game from Cerulean. I'm just going to replay from the beginning. This was really good. I think that was perfect execution from Cerulean. Now, you might argue some douchebag things. Maybe Matt Wade didn't build the best, but Cerulean played a great game. That was very fun for me to watch. Now let me reach out to my opponent and see if he's ready. Alright, reaching out to my opponent, seeing if we can get a match going. The one true Joiner. How did you switch account names? Why does it say Hayden Joiner in the stream and the one true Joiner with the same profile picture? Did you just switch devices? Okay, we got a challenge. And don't feel forgotten, we're going over replays in a moment. We're having a lot of live matches this week, which makes me sort of want to maybe split up the video this week into 2 videos. Maybe replays and live battles. So maybe see that coming later this week. Ooh. Okay, what are we looking at here? Knowing my opponent, I'm expecting the Meowscarada lead. In which situation I play my Lust. Let's sub out, see what he does. He goes for the Stealth Rocks. Okay, I always forget what Ground's resistances are. Does it resist poison? It does. I think is my best move Energy Ball then. It's unresisted, but it's not stab, so that's 90. Whereas this is stab. I think they're equal, but this one has 10% to burn, and this one is 10% lower defense. I'm going to go for that, because I think I want to try and get Toxic down. Okay, he goes for the Earthquake. Let's sub again. Is that a dick move? Because he knows I'm probably fearing this Earthquake. We both know that he has the Earthquake now. As he just rips another raw Earthquake. Okay? Okay. We'll go into the Lando. Intimidate you. Drop that. Ooh, and he hits me with the Stone Edge. I'm gonna get these rocks off the field. I don't really want to be getting chipped. If I see an Ice Fang coming from this Garchomp, I will be very upset. Okay. What do we think is going to hit the field now? Whatever it is, I don't want to see it. I think if I try and poison, like there's a chance he goes into the Goldengo or the Naganadel. So our Toxic is somewhat risky here. Wow, he is wild. He is absolutely wild for that. Okay. You want to play games? Let's play games. I'm going to bulk up here. I'm going to keep bulking up as he probably gets a Toxic down on me. Yep. Keep bulking up. Then Drain Punch that. This is really tough for me now. It's a big crit. Go into this and lay the Toxic. So this is dangerous because he's going to be able to Toxic me as well. But I think I just want to get the Toxic down, get the Defog out. I always struggle with like wall type Pokemon like this. Like he's just slowing the game down and like messing up my team, right? He's got the Toxic, he's got the Scald to spread the burns. And I'm just not totally certain on how I want to play that. Getting people sending me replays. Why are you sending me replays on Pokemon Showdown? Okay. I'm going to go into the Garganical. Should be able to tank this and KO with Avalanche. No, no KO. I'll go into the Primeape, let you boost my Rage Fist. Oh, you don't want to boost my Rage Fist. Okay. Okay, 150 base power Rage Fist hitting something right now. So he's hit me twice. The defense EVs pay off as the Rage Fist hits for 72%. Shoot, I think I made a miscalculation. I didn't calculate for +1 flamethrower. God, I really want to calc this. I think I just Salt Cure. So Sludge Wave does 38%. Salt Cure does some damage. Then the actual Salt Cure status hits and KOs the Naganadel. That looks good for me. He's going to try and Flower Trick me. I go into my Lust. As he knocks off my Heavy Duty Boots, doing huge amounts of damage. Alright, so he's lost the stab on his Flower Trick. So I could go and U-turn. Knocks that off. Does that. Okay. Now he's doing less damage. That's toxic. That's that. I'm just going to knock off myself. Let's take an item from something. Okay, no more lefties on Garchomp. Garchomp is just going to get chipped more and more for the rest of this game. Okay. Now we're just going to KO with the Ice Punch. We're really starting to run out of options for dealing with the Goldengo. The Metagross Oko's the Meowscarada. The Abomasnow hits the field. I believe we can KO this with an Iron Head. Actually manages to tank it. I'm shocked. I'm going to Psycho Cut. Okay. Now, if this is a nasty plot Goldengo, shit. I'm in big fucking trouble. Do we just prey on flinches? No. Okay, he goes for the Shadow Ball. Okay, which is perfect. If he is like Choice or something and wants to spam Shadow Balls, I am Terra Normal. So we're gonna Dragon Dance. Terra Normal Dragon Dance. Now, I'm gonna recover here. You can try and spread that Toxic, but I'm gonna recover. So my Salt Cure, Purifying Salt prevents me from getting toxic. He can still scald me. So he goes Terra Grass, doing 21% damage that I can recover off. Now I'm going to Salt Cure here. A little disappointed in myself and my inability to get rocks up until now, but rocks are going up. A little more chip. We're going to Salt Cure this. Does Good as Gold prevent my Salt Cure? It does. That's huge. That's freaking huge. Let's hope this 1,000 arrows does damage, because this might be GG. I think Gholdengo, Nasty Plot Gholdengo messes me up here. So if you want, you can... I'm in a position where I need to be able to chip Gholdengo so that my 1,000 arrows is able to KO. What is the defense on a Gholdengo? 95 with 87 HP versus my Zygarde 10, who has 100 attack plus stab on 100 base power. It's really freaking close. I'm gonna Salt Cure you. And I'm gonna just keep Salt Curing. I'll let you KO. Because I'm pretty sure I'm faster. Hold up, let me check my speed. 289. Shit, a max speed Gholdengo might actually be faster. I want to make the aggressive play and go into the Zygarde. Because I don't want to survive. God damn it! Yeah, I really didn't want... Fuck, man. Ugh. I can't rage bite my paper. That was sticky. Okay. See, and then he goes into the Gholdengo. See, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to catch that. See, that actually doesn't damage me very much. I need you to try and use, like, Make It Rain or something on me. Unless you don't have Make It Rain. Is this a Recover Gholdengo? I'm just trying to get as much chip as I can. That was our plan from the beginning, and we're gonna follow through with it. And that's probably a mistake. It is Recover Gholdengo. Fuck this Gholdengo, man. %. So he uses the Make It Rain, lowering his special attack. Alright, let's see if 1,000 arrows can do this. Doesn't affect me. And that is game. Alomola comes in. The E-speed is not enough, and I go down with just 1. Okay, let's get the replay. My opponent's talking shit. Okay, put that in match replays. Okay, does anybody want to watch some replays from this week? Man, that was a really close match. That was fun, but I just had nothing for Gholdengo. I tried to play aggressively at one point, and that was a huge mistake. Probably could have won if I had called that play right, but I should have known that Liam likes to just, like, sit the Alomola in and not do anything. You want to watch David's match? We already watched David's match. That's going to be at the beginning of the stream if you want to replay that. Now we have our reigning champion Tyler Dingladine's replay versus Era. We have Tyler Dingladine, our reigning champion, versus Era this week. Very exciting matchup. Two players who probably do the most team prep out of anyone. So you know there's going to be some spicy stuff going on here. So Marshadow versus the Mandibuzz. Tylord takes a very aggressive approach. Mandibuzz is probably one of the best resistances to Marshadow you can have in the league. Attempts a Toxic, but Drapion is a poison type itself, while Mandibuzz gets Toxic the next turn. Genesect is a very good switch in, but doesn't like losing its Choice Scarf. It's the only way it's really able to outspeed the Marshadow. U-turn, doing mega damage to Gastrodon. It always surprised me just how much damage Genesect is able to get off with those U-turns. As well as the Psychic Terrain boosted Psyshock doing more to Volcarona than I would have expected. We see the Calm Mind Lele doing a Twinkle Tackle into the Drapion. Now that... Era is one of the only people who really makes effective use of Z moves in our league. Tylord attempts to Spectral Thief and steal those Calm Mind boosts, but Era says, no way, I'm not letting you take those. And gets the Toxic down on Gastrodon as the rocks go up onto Era's side of the field. Right now, this is looking like a big lead for Era. She's doing everything she can to stop Tylord, who has the most menacing Pokemon in the league, Marshadow. As well as he has his signature Pokemon, the Mega Ampharos. Toxic goes on the Tapu Lele. A big deal, but not a huge deal. Similarly to my Toxic being on my Zygarde this week. You know, your offensive Pokemon likes to set up and stay in for a bit, but it doesn't like to stay in maybe as long as a wall. So this Mandibuzz being Toxic, that's a much bigger issue for Era this week. She needs to keep that thing healthy to be able to resist the Marshadow. Now Toxic goes down the Ampharos. We're honestly just seeing tons of status this match. If I'm one of these players, I'm looking at having a Heal Bell or an Aromatherapy if we have a rematch. Era apologizes for how long she's taking on these turns, but we're watching the rematch, so we don't care. Spectrier comes in and picks up its free KO off a low Ampharos, getting its Grim Neigh boost off. As Marshadow comes in, begging to Spectral Thief that. Komodo hits the field. Surprisingly, also a great resist. Komodo is a fantastic defensive Pokemon and does very well in the Marshadow matchup. Better than one might expect, I'd say. Volcarona, very low HP, running out of options. Not looking like we're going to be seeing a Quiver Dance sweep this week as the Volcarona takes its poison damage and falls. Now we're looking at a 3-1 lead. Or I guess you could say 4-3. Marshadow secures another KO. Spectrier hits the field. The Dark-type Gastrodon is just not able to beat the Spectrier, it appears. You know, it looks like it's looking to fish out those Toxics, but it can't do that with the substitute in the way. Decides to start Scalding, trying to remove the substitutes. But if I'm Era, I'm just going for this this healing. Or sorry, not this healing, this substitute stalling. I'm not sure what Rillaboom is doing this week. You know, in the face of a Fire type, a Bug type, a Mandibuzz, a Dragon with resistances, I'm not seeing much use for Rillaboom. Maybe there's someone on the bench that Era didn't bring that Tylord was attempting to prep for. Spectrier starting to go off, gets another Grimnay boost. Genesect hits the field with its download ability, which gets Spectral Thiefed. Marshadow gets its attack boost, is the dog off the leash now. We have a plus boosted Marshadow. Era admits, that was really stupid of me, and listen, it's not often you see that matchup. We don't see Genesect versus, oh, even more exciting, the Roar, removing the Marshadow and its boost from the field. That's very smart, people. Take notes. If you have an opponent who you're afraid of getting stat boosts off, you can bring moves like Whirl, Roarwind, or even items like Red Card to get them off the field. Now, unluckily for our friend Era here, she's missing her Toxics, and if I'm being honest, I don't think those Toxics are saving her the game. Maybe earlier on in the match they might save her the game, but not this late. I think Marshadow just kind of goes off and just continues to slash away as we see another Spectral Thief go off, and that's the game. So, two of our most promising competitors in a 2-0 match. Very, very close ending. Congratulations to Tylord. Do you have any other rematches we'd like to watch? I believe the Haymaker match is here. Yes. Now this is a longtime childhood friend, Haymaker, versus a college friend of mine. Name bad word. Hold up. Haymaker, I believe you're in the chat. Yes. Would you like to be in the good guys or the bad guys position for this matchup? Are you feeling spicy, or are you feeling heroic for this? Now, going into this, I have to say, I really like Name Bad Words' team. I helped him prep a little bit, not too much. Most of this is his own brainchild, but threw some ideas at him. And I really feel like he has the team matchup this week. However, Haymaker is one of our most experienced players, consistently has a good regular season record, so we're going to put him in the bad guys side. We're going to put him in the bad guys side, and we're going to see how this goes for him. I think we're going to see this is sort of a skill versus maybe team matchup here. Haymaker having lots of the skill. Someone named Squaggle Scarf says, watch Hector's next. I will for sure watch Hector's next if you want to send me the replay. Is there an available replay? Anyway, we got a torch-songed up Skeledirge already doing tons of damage. As the Jirachi gets its choice specs knocked off. That's very interesting. Now what kind of... you don't often see choice specs on Jirachi. Now the Palafin comes in. Is it looking to just flip turn out? Or is it trying to do some damage? Alright, so the Palafin returns. It does proc its hero form, but it doesn't flip turn, and that's probably a good thing, because this opponent is more than likely running Rocky Helmet on that Skarmory. Who knows? I didn't help them prep at all. Now, the Toxic goes off on the Umbreon. Usually that'll synchronize and spread Toxic to the opponent, but Skarmory is a Steel type and is immune to such. Now, Electros here is very interesting. It is the only Terra-type Pokemon on Haymaker's team. It's really the only true element of surprise. Now, obviously, you always have element of surprise in how you want to EV your Pokemon or build your Pokemon, but Terra types can be completely unexpected. And so far, Haymaker has been making good use, bringing his Terra types pretty much every week. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see a trade even from Haymaker later on, giving him another Terra option. I think that would do him very well, because he's making some of the best use of Terra typing we've seen yet this season. Now, these Electros is just laying the Thunderbolts, destroying the Skarmory, which it really is really needed. And that critical hit goes out onto the Electros, but it Terras into Fairy, allowing it to tank the close combat and removes easily the most threatening opponent to him. Now, Galvantula is able to outspeed the Palafin, but the Jet Punch, priority move that Palafins tend to run, is just murking the team. All right, I want to pause here and talk about what just happened. Okay? That is a Mega Charizard X on the field that didn't Mega Evolve. Now, Garrett, name bad word. I'm sure you're watching. You've watched most of the replays, and I don't mean to bully you, So go ahead and skip this part. This is to you personally. Go ahead and skip. Everybody else, what a blunder. Am I right, guys? I mean, come on. That thing really needed to Mega Evolve. You see, obviously Charizard X does not enjoy the Palafin matchup. However, when it Mega Evolves, it gains not only more defensive stats, not only a Tough Claw's damage boost, but it gains the Dragon typing, which resists water, turning that Jet Punch into a neutral hit. Now, Garrett did get unlucky, right? The Palafin does crit. Maybe it wouldn't have KO'd. It's a low base power move. It would have been neutral. It did crit, though. It's a tough call, but he could have maybe been able to save the day. But all he would be doing is delaying the inevitable, because he would have been fighting for differential in this case. I don't think that Charizard X could have been able to beat the whole team. Honestly, only because of the Skeledirge. I think Charizard X has the makings to sweep this entire team, but this unaware Skeledirge just sits in its way and is extremely difficult to break. Now the Toxapex hits the field, and it's just kind of sad. It's just kind of sad. We're just watching. In comes the Psychics. Looks like the Choice Specs wouldn't have made that a one-hit KO, but it is interesting. It would have done more damage. As we're just watching, Toxapex get old Yellered here. Now, do we have a replay for that Hector match people are clamoring for? Here it is. All right. Now we have Hector versus the Wonder of You. This is a rain team featuring Urshifu Rapid, Regice, very interesting, Ferrothorn Classic, Mega Swampert Classic, and Greninja, who is not super classic on rain teams. I think we did see some of it in Generation 7, but I've never been a fan of it myself. But it's the second rain team in our 4 seasons to feature Greninja. So I think that's very interesting. And now we're facing a stall team. We're seeing Quagsire, Slowking Galar, Regenerator Mienshao, Ditto, Celesteela, and maybe potentially some Trick Room coming from the Slowking Galar, comboing with the high damage Marowak Alola. It's an exciting match. These are 2 very close friends. Let's see how they play out. So first we get a Quagsire lead off the Greninja. Greninja taunts it, and Quagsire is unable to do anything after it's been taunted. Mienshao hits the field, having that type advantage. And Pelipper comes out. Now it's gained the type advantage, and both opponents are just U-turning. They're pivoting. They're looking for their opportunities to maybe set up. It looks like Hector's winning with some good chip. He's trapped the Celesteela. He's got a Spike Off, but the Pelipper is Leech Seeded. What is he trapping the Celesteela for? That's the question. What is his end game? The Whirlpool goes away as Pelipper leads the field, and now Celesteela has a substitute. Ferrothorn evades. And once again, we're seeing this interesting Flame Charge Celesteela set. I think I like that we're seeing that. Celesteela has a lot of interesting sets, and in previous seasons, we've only really seen the Sub-Seed. And once again, we are seeing Sub-Seed, but we're seeing a unique variant of it. We're seeing the Fast Celesteela, which I think is pretty cool. If I was the Wonder of You, I might be switching that out and grabbing, I believe, Autonomizes the Mood, which is a double speed boost. And because that Flame Charge is doing no type of damage, you might as well be getting more speed out of it. We're seeing the leftovers recovery. Swampert gets his own substitute off, preventing the Leech Seed from going down. A very smart play from Hector. I think he's playing very well. And now he's bulking up. He's bulking up, and he's going to be able to, do big damage to the Wonder of You here. However, he has a Quagsire in the back. And you have to ask the question every time you see a Quagsire, is it water absorb or is it unaware? In this situation, the Wonder if You really wants it to be unaware so that he can tank these hits. However, he's facing a rain team, and typically you're going to go water absorb. Interestingly, he isn't water absorb. That's huge. But the Quagsire doesn't really have a way to break the Swampert either. And the Swampert knows this. It's continuing to bulk up as Quagsire is trying to get his health back. Quagsire is considering laying spikes. I don't... Oh, okay, interesting. So because the bulk ups don't matter, because he is unaware, unless for some reason he was damp. Wonder of You, I swear to God if that was damp. The flamethrower goes out. I question bringing flamethrower. I get it. There's a Ferrothorn on the other team, but you're facing a rain team. The flamethrowers aren't going to be very effective. Sludge Bomb does massive damage to the Greninja. I would like to recognize that, as well as maybe play some more Pokemon music again. Yeah, this Slowking is doing great chip damage. Really, if this Trick Room can get off at some point, which it can't, there's no more Trick Room. Interesting. Marowak can really secure some KOs. Ditto hits the field. Now we have an offensive Urshifu on the field who picks up a Greninja KO, and now for the first time, I firmly believe the Wonder Review has the lead. Hector has been dominating all game, but now the Wonder Review hits the field, loses his Ditto, loses his opportunity of offense. Swampert back on the field, gets faked out. Wonderful tech just to get that delicious 3% damage. It's very well done. As the high jump kick KOs the Regice. Now the Wonder Review, I got to admit, puts in the least effort. He drafts the same team every year. He only wants to play defense. He doesn't practice. But he has consistently performed. I mean, he gets wins. Nobody thinks he's going to win. And I love to see that he just 4-0'd with the offensive Mienshao. I'm impressed. That was a fun game to watch. I did like that. I thought, for most of that, I thought that was Hector's game to win. But the Wonder Review was able to turn that momentum around using the Mienshao and the Ditto and pulled off a very impressive victory. Now, I believe that is it for matches this week. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Now, as you know, there's going to be a video coming out very soon where I'm going to highlight all these matches, remove the downtime in between, maybe set it to some music, set some cool sound effects. You know how it is. And so hopefully, please check that out if you get the chance. I'm also going to, it's probably going to be 2. We're probably going to have the videos split into the live games and the replay games. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for coming to the stream. 7 viewers is the most we've ever had. Super exciting. That's the most we've ever had in the Pokemon Draft League YouTube streams. So you guys fucking rock. Thanks for coming out today, everyone. Have a good one.